The defending champion Christoph Sauser, new partner Olympic gold medalist Yaroslav Kulhavi, riding for Barry Songo, started last of the 600 teams. And with the Czech powerhouse working tirelessly on the front for much of the ride, they showed cohesion and composure as they stormed around the course in 55 minutes and 10 seconds, 1 minute and 7 seconds faster than Multivan Marida's former world champion Jose Almeida and Rudy van Hoots. Women's defending champion Esther Suss and her new partner Jane Nusley of BMC Wheeler threw down the gauntlet to their rivals with a dominant performance, finishing nearly 2 minutes clear to earn the honour of wearing the leader's jersey on stage one. The untested combination of Sauser and Kulhavi lay down a significant marker and will wear the yellow zebra-striped jersey on stage one. A satisfactory epic debut by Fumic and Fontana. With longer, harder stages to come, the marathon specialists, teams Topek, Ergon and the two Bulls teams are well placed. Suss and Nusley lead Bigham and Landvik by 1 minute and 57. Eric and Ariane Kleinans of Team Riccium began the defence of their title with a solid ride. Just 0.3 of a second separated Superior Pensions 2 and Team Bridge at the top of the Telkom Masters standings, and Barty Booker and Epic novice Heinz Zorbach will be the first wearers of the Grand Masters leader's purple jersey. Stage 1 of the 10th Absa Cape Epic sees a first ever foray into the Cederberg Mountains with a visit to Citrusdal, where the riders will get an early awakening with a 10-kilometre climb up Pekingese curve. Rough, rocky trails, soft sand and heat in the Olifants River Valley will all come into play over the 96 kilometres as they climb nearly 2,500 metres before finishing back in Citrusdal. Established in 1916, Citrusdal lies in the Olifants River Valley, situated at the base of the Cederberg Mountains in the Western Cape. Agriculture in the area is dominated by citrus fruit farming, hence the town's name. It usually has a population of 5,000 people. That's till the Absa Cape Epic arrives. 1,200 riders, thousands as race crew, all here on the world's biggest mountain bike stage race. Yesterday's prologue was a small taste of the race. The main course starts today. Today the race passes through potato farms, where official race sustenance provider Woolworths sources this organically grown wonder food. The sandy Citrusdal soil and climate is ideally suited to growing them. Right now it's harvest time in the Cederberg farmlands and in the Koa-Bokkeveld. In fact, riders passing these fields may well be eating their produce at dinner time later in the week. When they climb off the bike after a hard day out, they'll collect their recovery packs to refuel their bodies at the optimum time to aid their recuperation to battle it out the following day. The race village is a full-service race support facility. Riders wait in their start chutes. Those teams that posted fast times yesterday at the prologue will be seeded to set off first this morning. The ever-popular Ariane Kleinans. Under that jacket is a green zebra-striped jersey, donating the leading team in the mixed category.
Yeah, we'll see at the end of this stage, obviously. Now the real one starts, but it's only one of 7 after. It's like a puzzle, you know, and here it's obviously very sandy. That's the epic. You can look at the stage profile, looks easy, but then the surface is what it's all about.
Today it's going to be a hot one, a tough one, as I heard, and we try to do our thing and just get to the finish line. But hopefully we on the podium today.
Today is going to be the real epic. Stones, sand, hard, no fun.
The gun fires, and setting off are the yellow, orange, green, purple, blue and red jersey holders. Leaders in the men's, ladies mixed, Grandmasters, Telkom Business Masters and Absa All Africa categories. Reigning Olympic champion Yaroslav Kulhavi leads the 1,200-strong field onto the road and into the neutral zone. It's a short section of tar before they turn left, and almost immediately they will climb the first obstacle of the day, Pekingese curve. A long line of riders heads away from town on the tar, crossing the Olifants River the easy way. Then they're onto the dirt trails. The field stretches out as the racing begins. The pretenders will be burnt off, whilst the world's best step up the pace. This is a unique event, where mountain bike enthusiasts are able to ride alongside and compare their efforts with those of the best in the world, albeit for a short time. Thomas Paine named the pass after Sir George Grey, but after the opening of the modern pass in 1958, the name reverted to the original Pekingese Curve pass. a name derived from a band of pikemen who crossed the mountains in pursuit of a group of elusive koi. Starting with a group of 220 convict labourers in February 1857, Bain completed the western slope by the end of that year. Graham Ross, in the book The Romance of the Cape Mountain Passes, described the pass at the time as, "The passage may be performed with the greatest of comfort, for the breakneck kloof has given way to an easy carriage drive." Today, these rugged trails host the world's best mountain bikers. With the efforts of Urs Huber of Team Bulls and Charles Key of Cannondale Blend, the group is reduced to only 15 teams. The field heads along the plateau after phase 1 of the first climb. Soon the trail will turn upwards again, and the surface is rough, making traction difficult. The Cederberg Mountains are noted for dramatic, sharply defined sandstone rock formation. Today, during stage 1 at the Absa Cape Epic, the racing is well and truly underway, with top contending teams piling on the pressure on a sandy section. The trails steepen and the surface is loose, forcing portage. The highly skilled Philip Bates, recently crowned continental champion. Cresting at the top, it's Scott Swisspower, Multivan Merida, Scott Factory Racing, Topi Gergen, 2 Bulls teams, Barry Stander Songo, Cannondale Blend. All the top contenders are in there. They tackle this notorious descent at breakneck speed. Riders who are gapped on the climb will be keen to stay in contact with the front runners. The rutted trails are unforgiving. A small mistake could lead to a shredded tyre or worse, a crash. The first casualty of the day is Multivan Merida. But like most professional mountain bikers, Rudy van Hoots and Jose Amida are masters at making quick repairs. And another one, this time the smooth-riding Christoph Sauser. Even he has mishaps. Knox and Yamamoto stopped to offer assistance, swapping out a rear wheel. This will leave the yellow jersey to continue. The support team will have to wait and repair Sauser's wheel to get them to the next tech zone. The race continues without them, and the contenders will smell blood. The invincible Sauser and Kulhavi are now on the back foot. It'll be a long chase for them to get back to the leaders. Multivan Merida drive at the front, while Barry Stander Songo limit the damage. The third Bulls team of 3-time winner Stefan Sam and young Simon Stevjan are the next casualty of the descent. Stevjan's air-filled fork has failed. He'll nurse it for now. The tech zone will be a busy place in a few minutes. Cannondale Factory Racing, Marco Fontana and Manuel Fumic are not taking any risks on the way down. On board with Robert Menon. Oh, that was a small diker running into the path, right into his front wheel. His handlebars have sheared off, rendering the bike unrideable. With the other contenders safely down, Topi Gergen are left to pick up the pieces. Menon was unable to continue, suffering a broken collarbone. His partner, Alban Lecata, will continue tomorrow morning wearing the Outcast jersey.
Yeah, I was in the downhill and I tried not to twist too much. I was in a group and I believe it was a pick or something, which crossed the line and I hit it. And I completely go over the handlebar, crashed, and now, yeah, my handlebar is broken. And I believe I have also broken my collarbone or something. It really hurts. So, yeah, bad luck. I believe that was it. Game over.
Sauser and Kulhavi have their work cut out for them. Instead of using their efforts to gain an advantage over their rivals, they'll have to employ their considerable talents to pull back the time they've lost. The day was marked by large sandy sections, forcing riders to climb off and push, breaking their rhythm. This is the last thing Barry Stander Songo need. They find themselves with an old rival of Sauser's, Bart Frenchens, and also Roel Pollesen. This group will swell, and Barry Stander Songo will call for a little assistance. The hard men of the Telkom Business Masters category, Udo Bultz and Carsten Bresser, join in the chase. And at the front of the field, South African team Cannondale Blend of Darren Lill and Charles Key are on a blinder of a day. And so are Absa Africa jersey wearers Philip Bates and Matthijs Bierkes of Scott Factory Racing. Urs Huber drives a small group forward. They'll want to gain as much as an advantage on the teams that have dropped off. The former Swiss marathon champion is looking for a stage win today, but he'll have to get rid of Multivan Merida, who are ahead on overall time. The front group rolls into the water point to the delight of the crowd. They'll head straight through, believing they have enough to last them another hour or so. The chasers arrive, and this group will be Baristanda Songo. They spend the time refueling. This could end up being a canny decision for the Swiss-Czech pair. After all, at the Epic, you eat for tomorrow. Sam and Steve-Jan address their fork issues at the neutral tech zone. Sam curses their luck, but they'll soon be back on the bike. A local farmer goes the extra mile to welcome the Absa Cape Epic to the region. The race relies heavily on the generosity of over 170 landowners. A long, smooth climb, and Sazu and Kulhavi leave their group behind. South African Matthijs Bierkes, a cross-country specialist, is broadening his skill set in the biggest mountain bike stage race in the world. He and partner Philip Bass are no doubt inspired by mixing it up in this stellar field. Hamida and Van Hoots look back to see the damage and perhaps to observe the faces of the riders in the group. Are they planning something? This will test the resources of Baristanda Songo physically as well as psychologically. When a team has to chase rather than lead, there's the constant pressure of always having to be on the gas. Some way back, the group contains another South African team, Pet Group iTech Connect of Neil McDonald and Brandon Stewart. Also there is Dutch champion Hans Becking and two-time winner of the Absa Cape Epic, Belgian Roel Pollesen, riding with Yara Zoli from Italy. Flat out, the riders at the front have a little time to appreciate the scenery. In the lead are Platten Huber, Hamida and Van Hoots, Bomer and Ditch, and South Africans Key and Lil. On one of the more demanding technical descents, and the front runners descend smoothly without the pressure of having to chase. World champion Schurter is in close watch on the rocky trails. Oh, and it looks as though he's got a mechanical. Even though they're using more robust tubeless tyres, things can go wrong, and they often do at the Absa Cape Epic. Philip Bass passes the Swiss pair, perhaps sympathising with their bad luck. Sauza and Kulhavi arrive at the scene. They'll use this as a warning to take extra caution on this rugged section of the route. This is still an untested partnership, in fact their first full day out in a stage race together. But ever the professionals, they keep their heads and press on. Back to the ladies, and it's Sus and Nuzli, with Sus again the stronger partner, but still taking care not to stretch Nuzli beyond her threshold. Such are the dynamics of team mountain bike stage racing. The pair took a minute and 57-second lead into the stage over Sally Bigham and Milena Landvik. Mixed team lying third overall, Craig Gerber and Jenny Stennehaag of the Big Tree Foundation, looking unsteady on the descent. Cloud of dust, Stennehaag has gone down. It's a ruthless trail, this. Recovery key. The former Swedish road race champion is made of stern stuff. Smooth descending of the legend Tom Ritchie as he cruises past, riding with Alex Steeder, the first North American to wear the yellow jersey at the Tour de France. Mixed team leaders, Eric and Ariane Kleinans. Business as usual for the pair from Stellenbosch. Ariane on the front, setting a cracking pace, always Eric on her wheel. For now, the green leader's jersey secure on the shoulders of the husband and wife dream team. Grandmaster leaders Heinz Zorweg and Barty Bucher. Zorweg in his first Absa Cape Epic gets a taste of what the Cape is all about. Resplendent in the new purple jersey of Grandmaster leaders, even the hard as nailed Barty Bucher in his fourth Absa Cape Epic has to push up these relentless climbs. 60-year-old Linus van Onselen partnering once again Doug Brown, real contenders in the Grandmasters. Looking strong. Huber is on the front again, and the leading group receives a time check from spectators along the route. They have a 3-minute gap on Sauser and Kulhavi. Second South African team, Base and Bierkes, 2 minutes down.
2 minutes, Philip. 2 minutes to the front.
Breathing down their necks, it's Barry Stander Songo. If they catch sight of the team ahead, their morale will get a boost. Another tough portage section. This will test the legs of the athletes. Hamida is an experienced cyclocross rider, a discipline that requires running with one's bike. Back with the leading men and the lead group down to 3 teams. Multiband Merida with the former world champion Jose Hamida on the front, Rudy van Hoots on his wheel, and the 2 Bulls teams. It was hard work, the soft sand almost impossible to ride on. The best riders in the world forced to push their bikes up the climb. Further back, Kulhavi and Sousa trying to ride it out. All the while eating into the time they'd lost earlier in the day. They'd had punctures as well. The world champion Nino Schurter and Florian Vogel of Scott Swiss Power running it out, whilst Hamida and Van Hoots continue to ride and drive the pace to open up the gap. They'd arrived at the start highly motivated. Hamida well rested, having raced the Andalusia stage race, then took a long break. They were keen for victory. About 3 minutes behind them, Sousa and Kulhavi pushing hard on the centre, a little too hard by Kulhavi. He loses the track, but is back on. Meanwhile, Multiband Merida's gaps gets bigger and bigger. The Bulls doing the chasing. This is their type of day. Huber and Flat, as well as Ditch and Moma.
You've entered into the...
Sousa and Kulhavi, this Barry Stander Songo pair, pushing hard, the yellow jersey perhaps slipping off their shoulders, and would it be that Van Hoots and Hamida would be the men to don it at the end of this stage? The pair had chosen to ride the hardtails on this stage, would be enjoying the climb on the district road. In the distance, the Bulls on their full suspensions, giving it all to try and close the gap. Hardman Huber, this is his type of territory, on the front, driving the pace. They were working as a quartet, showing great cohesion and sharing the workload. The distinctive golden bike of Christoph Sousa, his partner Jaroslav Kulhavi. They were working every inch of the way. Cresting the climb, Hamida and Van Hoots, their gap had opened up to over 2 minutes on the Bulls quartet. Despite all his palmares, Hamida had never worn a yellow jersey at the Absa Cape Epic. This year they were a lone Merida team. An eagle soaring above the Cedarburg. Down below, the Bulls on a tricky, loose descent, holding nothing back. Taking some chances, trying to close the gap. The skill of the men in the yellow jersey. The Olifants River Valley, lush. It would be crossed once more before they headed into the citrus orchards on the outskirts of the Finnish town Citrusdal. The stage victory in the Absa Cape Epic is highly prized by these top professional riders. There's no question about the motivation of Jose Hamida and Rudy van Hoots. 2 minutes back, it was the Bulls quartet.
Apparently, I don't know.
Realizing now that perhaps the stage victory was gone, they were determined to narrow the gap on Sousa and Kulhavi in their general classification. Citrusdal awaited the winners of stage 1 of the Absa Cape Epic. Great ovation, and the multiband Merida pair of Jose Hamida and Rudy van Hoots, the last bend, and up the chute to the finish. A fantastic ride and a great performance by the Spanish-Dutch combination, the winners of stage 1 in Citrusdal. just under a minute and a half back, the Bulls quartet led home by Urs Huber with Karl Platt in his wake. Homer and Ditch to take third place for the Bulls too. They're still fighting. A stellar fight by Kulhavi and Sauser, pulling back 2 minutes to finish 2 minutes and 40 seconds behind the Bulls. Top of the podium for the smiling Jose Hermida and Rudy van Hoots. The Bulls had a good day out, second and third for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winners today, Jose Hermida, Rudy van Hoots.
Probably I would like to take a holiday. You know, I achieved one of my goals, but the second goal is bring it to the last stage and to stage number 9, of course. So still a lot to go, and we have to be focused. And can be that is the year, and you know, for us it's an honor to wear this jersey.
Jose and Rudy, they were pretty strong today. I mean, they were pushing all the time, and there was one sandy climb. It was impossible to ride, really impossible. So we had to walk maybe for 1 or 2 kilometers, and they just ran away a little bit, and it was like a bungee, you know. But we didn't come back.
And that elastic stretched to 1 minute and 20 seconds, but the gap starting to appear further back. Lil and Key of Cannondale Blend, 10 minutes adrift of Hermida and van Hoots. Overall, Hermida and van Hoots now in yellow. Sauser and Kulhavi still in contention at 1:42 down. Just under 3 minutes separate the top 4 teams. The withdrawal of Bigham and Landvik through illness saw Speedy and Williamson take second place behind Sus and Nusli. Kleinans dominant once again for ECM. BMC Wheeler have 32 minutes and 47 seconds over Energias. Ragnar Vulcan Ladies now on the podium. ECM have 25 minutes over Target Trek Morona's bikes. Scuffney and De Villiers on the podium. In the Telkom Business Masters, Bresser and Bolts consolidated their position as the dominant team. Brenchitz and Simba not far behind, and Bucher and Zorberg, despite the fall, they're the dominant team in the Grandmasters. Overall, Bresser and Bolts now just under 9 minutes ahead of the Dutchman and the South African Rob Sim. And Bucher and Zorberg have a 16-minute lead over Van Onselen and Brown, have moved ahead of Furbank and Brand. Stage 2 takes the riders into the stark sandstone beauty of the Koa Bokkeveld. They'll climb 900 metres in the first 18 Ks. They reach the highest point of the entire race at the halfway mark. They enter the Witzenberg Valley via a wagon trail before a rough single-track descent takes them into Saronsberg at the finish in Tilbach.